Hey everyone, Cathy Sabater. If you're a veteran trying to buy a home in 2026 or a realtor representing a VA buyer and you hear your offer wasn't accepted, I need you to listen closely because VA buyers are not losing homes because of the VA loans. They're losing it because of the way they package the offer. Today, I'm going to give you a blueprint that I use to get VA buyers under contract, even with zero down, even when selling to buy, and even when there's competition. We're not talking about interest rates today. We are talking about winning the offer. First, I need to address sellers, the listing agents, and civilians watching this. There is a myth that the VA loans are a niche product, or they're a very small, tiny fraction of the market that you can afford to ignore. Let me give you some hard data. If you are selling a home in San Diego or any major metro area in 2026, you need to look at the numbers. In San Diego County, VA loans now account for about 15.2% of all mortgage home purchases. Think about it. That is roughly every one out of six buyers that walk through your open house. If you have a no VA mindset, that is approximately 16% of demand that is looking at your home that you need to consider. Economics 101 says less demand equals a lower sales price. If you want top dollar, you need to invite the VA buyer to the table. On a national level, the story is the same. Historically, VA loans make up about 10 to 12% of the entire U.S. mortgage market. Now, we did see a dip to about 8% in 2024. That wasn't because veterans stopped buying. It was because affordability got brutal. And without the right strategy, they got squeezed out. Now look at the rebound. In fiscal year 2025, VA purchase home loans jumped up 8.5%. That is massive momentum. Here is a statistic that's going to wake everyone up. The growth isn't coming from older veterans. It's coming from Gen Z. Gen Z usage of the VA loan surged by 38% year over year. These are the young, aggressive, first-time homebuyers who are entering the market right now. They are the ones buying your starter homes. They are the ones driving the market. Whether you're a veteran or a civilian seller, the reality is the same. The VA buyer is back and they are growing fast. They are a force in the market. Now, the question is, how do we get their offers accepted? Because even with those numbers, sellers still get nervous. They care about three things: certainty, timeline, and net proceeds. They want to know, will this close? Will it close on time? How much money do I walk away with? If your offer answers these three questions better than the other buyer, then you win. Most VA offers usually go in with a generic pre-approval letter, no phone call, and no proof. So the seller thinks it's a VA loan, and they assume red tape. Sellers don't pick bravery, they pick certainty. So step one to winning is certainty. And certainty comes from the way the file is packaged. Now, let me explain my golden rule for packaging. I don't force every buyer through full documentation on day one. However, once they decide that they are ready to write offers, that is when we lock it down. That means we run the credit, we run the income, we collect the documentation, and we get the file reviewed so the offer goes in with certainty. Then I do the second piece that some or some lenders may or may not do, and is I pick up the phone and call the listing agent along with a video. I say, I know you see a VA loan, but this VA buyer is fully vetted, income verified, job stable, appraisal ordered as soon as the loan disclosures are signed. We try to get that done by day one, day two. We are not hoping to close. We are ready to close. That call and a video changes everything. Now, let's talk about some specific obstacles that stopped you from winning. Fees and termites. Realtors. This is usually when an offer can be put to the side. Listing agents are trained, right, that if they accept the VA offer, their seller will be forced to pay thousands of dollars in non-allowable fees. They think, why should my seller lose money? Well, let's fix that perception right now. When we write an offer, we structure it so that the lender covers those fees. I tell the listing agents, don't worry about the non-allowables. I have them covered with a lender credit. Your seller does not have to worry about that. Now, that removes the financial objective. Am I right? Then there's the termite inspection. In California, sellers used to be forced to pay this. The rules have changed. So we clarify in the offer that the buyer is willing to pay for the pest inspection. We clarify that we are only looking for Section 1 clearance, meaning active issues. We aren't asking the seller to rebuild the deck. We just want a safe house. Now, let's get back to that Gen Z buyer. Remember, this group is up 38%. They are leading the charge. They have a unique challenge. Why? Because they are competing against investors and they are usually putting zero down. Now, the stigma that zero down means no money, well, let's talk about that myth. When we submit a Gen Z offer, I explain to the listing agent that my client has money in the bank. They are choosing to use their zero down VA benefit because it's smart leverage. That creates strength. The biggest place that the first time home buyer usually loses is when the inspection. You're nervous. You want to ask for repairs. So you ask me, Cathy, should I waive the inspection to win? Oh, no. That's Vegas. If you want to gamble, you be in Vegas, not buying a house in 2026. You did not work this hard to gamble on a foundation issue. You hear what I'm getting at? Instead, we structure the inspection. We write that the buyer won't request repairs under, let's say, $2,000. But what we are going to focus on is major health and safety items. That tells the seller you're serious, not reckless. Now, let's talk about buyers coming out on a hardship. I hear this question, Cathy, I had a bankruptcy or foreclosure. Am I even competitive? And the answer is yes, if your waiting period is over and your income is stable, you are not broken. You are a buyer with a plan. Your hardship is not the headline, it is your approval. Let me give you a real example. I worked with a veteran who had Chapter 7, and the bankruptcy was about 2 years ago. The veteran has rebuilt their credit, their income is solid. They told me, Cathy, I feel like the weakest author. I told them, no, You just need better packaging. I call the listing agent. I explain that the wait period has cleared. I vetted the income, and the seller chose them over a conventional buyer. Not because they paid more, because they looked safer. We don't hide your past. We explain your present strength. Now let's talk about sell to buy buyers. You already have a home. You have equity. You're terrified of being homeless, not having a place to stay in between this transaction. And most sellers don't like contingent offers. They do not like waiting for your home to sell. Okay? So we just changed the timeline. We use a strategy called Recast. You buy your new home with the minimum down payment from your savings. You move in. You secure your home. Then you sell your old home stress free. Now, once it sells, you take that big equity check and apply it to your new loan. And your payment will be adjusted. And that's why they call it a recast. This is how to avoid minimum stress of not having a place to stay. This is how you avoid contingency. This is how you keep leverage. Finally, realtors. Quick reality check. If you submit a VA offer and disappear, the deal dies. Silence kills VA deals. Let's get it right. It kills all offers if you ask me. Your lender must be the bulldog on the phone. We have to explain the file. We have to explain the non-allowables are covered. We have to explain the inspections. We have to vouch for income. If that's not happening, you're fighting with one hand tied behind your back. Here's the takeaway. VA buyers don't lose because of the VA loan. They lose because we have to show the seller that this deal is safe. Winning offers is all about packaging, presentation, communication, and that's it. If you want the exact checklist I use to package VA offers, inspection, wording, term strategies, and seller agent scripts, comment VA winner below. Tell me which one you are. First time home buyer, contingent buyer, comeback buyer, and I will personally respond. Stop letting people tell you your VA offer can't compete. We will prove them wrong every single day. I'm Cathy Sabater. Let's go win a house.